I might be a millennial, but I am nowhere near tech savvy. I am trying to make sure I don't see any of my notifications because I get Facebook and everything else. So, and so, and you, would you two be married? Are you two married?
We were.
Okay. I do have to ask. So, where would the name? And I think this might be for you, Jackie. But where would the name Tommy or the name Thomas be connected? It may not be Thomas. It might just be the T name. But that's the name that I kind of saw around you first.
Well, I have an ex-husband named Thomas, and I have a brother.
But is he still living?
He's still living. Yep.
Okay, so they'll bring up people that are living on the other side, but as soon as I referenced the husband or being married, I saw the name Thomas or Tommy that was connected here. The other feeling that kind of comes up, and I want to say more on the psychic side of things, just to kind of get you down before I go into the mediumship side. So what I'm going to do is just kind of close my eyes a little bit. Maybe not. So now, Scott, now just yes or no for me, but would your father be passed?
Yes.
Were you able, now did you actually take care of him prior to his passing?
No.
What I saw was you standing by his bedside, and the feeling was that the image that I saw was you standing over his bedside, and I don't know if you assisted him or led them to the care, but for whatever reason, I wanted to almost like thank you for the care that was provided for him at the end of his life.
No, I wasn't. In fact, when they took his life support off, I didn't even want to be around that.
So you didn't make the call to take him off life support?
Oh yes, we did. That was a group decision.
So the feeling is that taking him off life support was still something that you had to either decide around his care. So for me, it was being able to say thank you for these decisions that you guys made as a collective, as a group. It just made me feel like there was that acknowledgement. The other feeling that kind of comes up with him is, I don't feel like this was a recent passing, though. To me, this makes me feel like it was some time ago.
It was.
I want to even go maybe even past 20 years.
Yes.
Okay, because it just made me feel like we're going quite a ways back.
Yes.
The other thing is, now, where's the David or Dave connection to you?
That was my dad.
Super. So it's just my way of being able to kind of, because I heard Dave or David, but so I'll tell you, they don't usually come in that quickly with names, so that's pretty cool to me, at least. Now, one of the things that does come through, and oftentimes when I see his energy, he's not a quiet person. Like, I know that generation, they had people that were kind of, I don't see him as that kind of a guy. I don't know if he was just a very talkative kind of, like, he could talk to anybody about anything, but as I'm sitting here, he's like, oh, well, let's talk about this. Well, let me go show you this over here. This project I was working on, but it's like he almost has ADD, but like everything was exciting to him. Would you understand that?
Yes, I would.
Cool. But with that, okay, I'm getting like chills and goosebumps as I'm talking, so I don't know if you feel like chills or goosebumps, but if you do at all, just know that that's his energy is what you feel. The other thing that he's making me feel, does someone else have like a weird D name?
My mom.
Okay. Don't tell me what it is. If I see a letter but I can't pronounce the name, or if I'm not getting it's weird. So don't tell me it. But the other feeling that because I saw like D and D, like that's the feeling that I have. You know how like people have bed and breakfast? It's like
Yep.
Devil's Den. Like it's kind of, I feel like there's something funny about their names together. And it's interesting because part of me feels like we would laugh about like how the names are put together in some way, but she also. So now, is your mom still living?
No.
Okay. It's weird why I felt two moms for you, though. There's two mother energies, so this will be really interesting. I don't know, so I can see mom, an energy, but the weird thing is I feel like there's like another person in your life, not Jackie's relatives. It feels like there's somebody else in your life that was like, honestly, what I heard was almost like a coach, like a counselor, almost like there was just this admirable kind of like motherly love that I have from the other side, but it's weird. So I know that mom's something, but there's this other woman that doesn't make me feel as like part of the family, but is almost like, I don't know if like you, like she was a mentor of yours or some type of like coach or something, but it's just another woman that just felt very, very motherly to you. I don't feel like we got the chance to say goodbye. Weird. I'm going to leave it to the side for a moment, but that it and there has to be a connection. Were you at one point like a truck driver, or were you always like on the road?
I worked on the road.
Like, were you delivering things?
No, I worked in the construction side of our business.
Okay. Why do I see the image that I saw was like you driving food to her, like to make sure she had it. Like it still feels like it's almost like you respected this woman. She feels really, really old to me, but for whatever reason, like she wanted to. Yeah, I'm gonna put it to the side if it doesn't make sense, but it's a very, very strong. So I'm gonna go back to these people, but she just felt very, very loving, very maternal. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna put it.
Is it somebody that's gone?
Yes.
Okay.
And I don't want to say aunt. It makes me feel like it's somebody, a part of your guys' community, or like a friend's mom that like you went and like delivered food, or maybe even a grandmother. But it just felt like you were the one like going and checking up on her. It just felt like it makes me feel like you just did it really out of the kindness of your heart to make sure she had stuff. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I really hope it kind of clinks back in later on.
What about when your mom?
He said he didn't think it was my relatives.
So the other feeling that's going to come here, now I know that there has to be a Jessica or a Jesse connection as well, but I feel like the person's living.
We have a son named Jesse.
You have a son named Jesse.
And I have a niece named Jessica.
But Jesse is still living?
Yeah.
Your son?
Yes.
But did you guys lose a child, can I ask?
Yes, we did.
Because even before the reading started, I felt like I was going to be bringing forward a child in this reading. Like, even though I see dad and I can feel mom's, and I don't want to disrespect mom. I don't feel like she was a proper lady, if that makes sense about your mom, Scott. Like she's a well-kept woman, but I don't feel like she was like a lady, if that makes sense. Like
she's pretty sassy.
Like she just didn't make me feel like she was like that, like, you know, kept the purse close to her. Well, she says, no, I kept my purse close to me because I didn't trust nobody. But it made me feel as though that she was just this fun, like, just loving kind of person, but she'll correct you if you stepped out of line. That's just how I see her energy. She also brings up the month of March, this month being significant as well. So I don't know if her birthday's in this month or why I'm seeing like a celebratory date in March.
No. In fact, March is probably the least significant of all of our months. We don't have any birthdays or any.
Okay. So the other thing is that 3 would be, or because whenever I see 3, it's significant to March, but I'm seeing the 3. So if it's on the 3rd, but before I go too forward with that, I saw 2 different days almost on the same day. So, or they're sandwiched between one another, where it's like a passing and then a celebration and then another day. So I wonder if there's like 3 in a row. Like that's so I know 3 is significant around mom, and I'll leave that there for a second. I want to go to the child that was lost, and it's odd because I actually felt 2 on the other side, but I want to target one of them first. Now, just yes or no, but did you guys lose a son?
Yes.
Okay. I don't feel like he was that old when he passed. So was he under the age of 33 when he passed away?
Yes.
But was he older than 15?
Yes.
Okay. Because he makes me feel like he had a fun life, is what he says. But there's this feeling of... It's funny, he just says, my dad told me to bring up a memory. And it's weird because I feel like you were talking to him, like you have to bring up this so I know that this is you. Like, but part of me feels, I don't know if you two went fishing together or why. I feel like you two, like, there's this bond between the two of you that he makes me feel like, Dad, you know that there was nothing else you guys could do, is what I heard. My feeling is that would he have passed very unexpected or very quickly?
Yes.
Would you understand why I feel as though that when he passed, that there was nothing the feeling that I have is there's nothing that anybody could have done. That's the...
Correct.
Why do I see him in communication with 2 other people before this happened? I don't know what this means, but I'm seeing almost like the day being played back. This is weird. I don't feel like did we not know where he was going, or did we not know where he was?
No,
Like,
we knew where we knew where he is going.
Okay. So I'm seeing a mixture of things. I don't feel like I'm in my right mind when this happened. The other feeling that comes up with this as well is, was this due to like a motor vehicle accident?
Yes.
I just keep seeing this red car going, boom, like it makes me feel like but I don't know if I'm on a car. I might be on a bike is actually what I feel.
He had a bike. A motorcycle.
It's red. I keep seeing a red car. Like it's just over.
I don't remember what color that car was, do you?
Purple.
It was?
Were you guys on the coast?
We live on the coast.
Is that where it happened?
No.
Like almost the corridor? Okay. Because I keep seeing this hill, like I'm going up the hill.
Yep.
And then I feel like there's this turn that happens like this, and I don't feel like I turned away from it. Like the feeling is I'm going up this hill, and I feel like I might have even like went off the hill or went off the bank.
Yes.
But I don't know. I don't want to say like we went and we looked for tire tracks. We looked for braking track. Like we went up there and we did our own type of like thing. But it made me feel as though that I don't feel like things added up to how this happened. And my feeling is that I keep seeing his tires like you know how like when your tires are dull, like they just kind of spin out. Like that's the kind of feeling that I have is like him going up pretty fast, and then I see this kind of like his tires are catching. And then, like, I don't see him being able to take control. So my feeling is that it was an accident.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know those signs that say, what is it they say? The grades, the road signs that say something about the grade and the curved.
Yeah.
What is that even called?
So this happened up on a mountain pass. That's probably where you're seeing that hill and whatnot. And he got off to the side of in the gravel. It was a gravel pull-off area, and then he overcorrected to get back on the road and rolled.
So for me, what he says, and I just got chills when you said that. So I don't know, again, if you felt that, but know that that's him. The other, it's odd. I just saw like Rocky and Bullwinkle. Like that's, I don't know why I saw Rocky and Bullwinkle for whatever. But the interesting thing that I see about him is, but again, that there's something about not knowing where I was. Like, even though that you guys knew where he was going, I don't know if there was time in between when this happened and when someone found him. But there's this feeling of not. But I don't know why, but Jackie, did you not get to say good? Like, I know we didn't get to say goodbye, but did you not drive up there with them, or did you like stay behind?
He was returning to work, probably on a road he's never been on, and it was in, what state was that? Idaho. So he left that morning, early in the morning, and then it was probably about 9, 10 o'clock that night that it happened.
I'm sorry. When I look at his personality, like, he doesn't seem like a big guy to me. It almost makes me feel like his is like a stature like mine. So I don't know if he was on the thinner side. It kind of reminds me of like if I actually had muscles on my body, like that's kind of how it would look like. He makes me feel like he took care of himself, but I don't know if he went through like a skater boy kind of phase where like, you know, he kept going like this with his hair. But like, even when I was doing my hair earlier, I don't know if you can tell, like I don't have any product in it, but I kept going like this in the bathroom. I was like, what? But he just kept like, almost like emo kind of like going like that.
He had a tick.
Huh?
He had a tick that he always did that.
Yep.
No way.
Yeah.
He
had
had
like this.
Yep, he had long hair when he was probably a sophomore, and he kept doing that to get the hair out of his face. Then he went and got a haircut, and then he kept doing that for the rest of his life.
Wow, because he just keep going like this. The other feeling that I get with him is now, Dad, I know that for you that he just kept saying you need no regrets. There's no regrets. And part of me feels as though that I don't believe that he was ever angry at you. There is this feeling of like not seeing eye to eye, but I don't feel like he was ever angry is what he says. There is this feeling like, do you have a guitar of his, or like do you play guitar?
No.
What I saw is I feel like he's recording a video, and I don't know if he was like learning to play the guitar or why I'm seeing like almost like a home video of you guys where you guys are almost like jamming out together. Like that's the feeling, that's the video that I have in my head. And I swear I almost see like Spider-Man pajamas. Like whether he was like 9 or 10 years old, but I'm seeing like Spider-Man pajamas. I feel like there's yeah.
I don't remember.
He had some Spider-Man pajamas.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. Yeah, when he was little.
So I'm going to challenge you guys to go back in photos and see if there's like like I honestly feel like he had a tiny little drum set.
Oh,
like Dad's.
He had a, what are those things that they play in Hawaii, those little...
The ukulele.
Yep, he had a ukulele.
And did he play the ukulele?
Yep, he
all of them. Because I'm telling you, he's going like this. I don't know how to play it, so both my hands move. But he just made me feel like this is what he wanted to bring up. There's also, Scott, I have to mention that I think there might be even a brother for you on the other side as well. Because even as I just heard, oh, Uncle, like I heard like Uncle's here. And like, I don't think that there was a name. I think we just called him Uncle.
Oh.
But I'm going to say, I don't know if you had a brother that was the same age.
He has an uncle named Jake.
And is that your son's name?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, because like I couldn't connect the names, and so I was like, Uncle Lit is here. So, but and did you name him after your son?
Yes. My son after him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just felt, for whatever reason, he goes to tell my dad I'm with him. So whatever the correlation that it was important to say that he wasn't with mom, wasn't with dad, that he was with this uncle that you named, you named your son after. That he was like, tell my dad that's who I'm with. And I think that there's also like a November connection here as well, is what I'm seeing. So I feel as though that November is actually a big month here also. No.
No.
Wait.
Not
The
yet.
11th is what he says. So I think it's the 11th that's connected.
The 11th.
You don't know your uncle's birthday, do you?
No, I'm trying to think of which uncle was, if it was Doc or Sticky or Flea. I think Lisa's birthday's on the 11th.
Just keep that in mind. The other thing that I see, is there like a weird name like Aldine or like Al connection? Alden?
That's gone? One
No, could still be living.
I have a friend named Al. We actually came in and saw you about a month ago.
A month ago?
Yeah, something like that. Is it a group thing?
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
And then where's the Katie connection?
I have a friend named Katie, but
I feel like these would be in the family. Anyways, we'll keep going. One of the things that I just kind of felt from your son is that, again, his personality to me just seems very, like, not like your dad's, not like that. He seems very happy, the one that, like, wants to bring everybody kind of together is what I'm seeing about your son. He just seems like somebody that would have an incredibly strong work ethic. I don't believe that he ever wanted to just stay at home. Part of me felt like he wanted to leave when he was 16 and just, like, go work. Like, that's kind of the feeling that I have. I know that you said that he worked in Idaho, like going up like a mountain pass, so whether he was like a snowboarder, skier kind of guy, it just made me feel like he wanted to have a work job or a job that allowed him to be outside. I don't feel like he wanted like a 9-to-5 job inside. Part of me feels as though that I don't see him settling down either. So I don't know if he like, we never saw him like with a girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. Like it made me feel like he was just always doing something else, but he was always happy.
Yep.
And part of me, I kept feeling like, Dad, I wanted to say thank you because you showed him. Honestly, the feeling is that you told him whatever's going to make you happy, just go do it.
Well, yeah, he was going to be, when he went over to Hope, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, there is a feeling of him, like, I think you told him to work with you, or there's a moment that you were going to, like, have him work underneath you in your job, but I don't think that was, like, a good fit. Part of me just felt like he just wanted to literally fly, like, go away.
Yeah, he was the one that showed interest into my line of work. But, so the day of my mom's funeral, he was supposed to fly out to Hawaii, and he didn't want to miss my mom's funeral, but I told him he had to go, that Grandma would understand.
And I don't know, did you guys all put flowers on Mom's casket?
No.
Because
No,
what I
my
felt is
mom,
that
no. My mom didn't have a casket.
She didn't have a casket. There was a feeling of like you putting something like I don't want to, maybe it's in memory of him, because I keep seeing Mom's. I don't know if she has a grave site or has like a place that you guys go to, but the feeling is like I feel like I'm putting something else, like I'm adding to it, and I feel like I see hers in that, and then I see you adding to it.
His marker.
Yeah.
Adding to whose marker?
Jake's. Up at the mountain. Up at the pass.
Oh, there, yeah. Oh, that marker. He's got so many of them. Huh.
What happened?
Well, so where his accident happened, I went over a year later to the date, and then The following year, I had a marker made, a granite marker, that nobody knows where it's at because you can't see it. And every time we go over, we take things and leave it there with us.
Because I'm gonna show you what I had. I don't know if you can see it. So it says added road and then name. So it said added road name, and I didn't know what that meant, but you literally put his name by the road or like where it happened.
Yes.
Yep.
So for me, like when that type of information comes up, it just made me, that's his way of saying, I know what you've done in memory of me. And so know that was something that you did. But it's weird because he also kept showing me like I think it's a red bird. So it's not it's the cardinals maybe, but I'm seeing like the cardinal bird, like almost like, I feel like when you went, there was this moment that whether you looked out in nature and saw like the bird like literally stop in front of you, it just made me feel like when you see these birds, know that is your son, is what he says. So I think that there's already this kind of connection that you have with like seeing something that already reminds you of him. He also talks about your knees as well. So I don't know, like, are you supposed to be retired, but you really won't quit working?
Yes.
Because he goes, well, you're a lot like your dad, is what he says. Like, even your dad could have worked until his last breathing. No, he did actually work until his last breathing day.
He did.
But your dad goes, that's not all what life is about. And my feeling is that I just see your son going like this. I swear, like he's like almost like rocking out. Like there's this feeling to your son that's just alive. Like I know that's weird, but I can see like, and it's weird. I'm seeing like bracelets in memory of him as well. So I'm wondering if somebody gave you guys like a yellow bracelet in memory of him, or why I'm seeing like the bracelet. Like
I made bracelets and gave one to his one of his friends, just said in memory of Jake. And then I also made one, and Scott took it up to the site and left it there.
Because he just said, tell him about the bracelets that were made in memory of me. And just saying that he knows of it.
Yep.
Do you believe it yet, Scott?
I do. I totally do.
The interesting thing that I think is that there's this connection with you, Jackie, and you, Scott, even though that you guys are separated, but are you guys still like together, just not married again?
We're pretty good friends.
Okay. Like, you guys don't live together?
No.
Okay. Not yet. But but the feeling is that there's this bond that the two of you have that I believe that, and for you, Scott, it's almost weird, like God brought him into my life to show me what that unconditional love is. I feel like with your dad loved you, but there wasn't that like, that heart connection. It was almost like, he's a really good pal of mine, like your dad was just a really good guy. Your son, I feel, came into your life, Scott, and like it taught you a whole new thing. And I know that you guys have other kids, but Jake, to me, seems as though that he was very, very different than the rest of your kids. And in the way that, for me, I see Jake as a soul that just wants to give and just wants to help and just wants to kind of lift people up. The feeling that he says, he goes, I want them to know that I didn't suffer when I passed away. And I don't know if he actually, his neck was the issue or what happened here, but part of me felt like he just says, I didn't feel any physical pain. And so at the moment of this, I don't see him there. So to say that his soul was already left his physical body. And I think, Scott, for you, you've already had dreams of your son. Even actually, I want to say 3 nights ago or a couple nights ago, I believe that you did have another dream of him. I'm pretty confident of that, actually, because he kept making me feel like he wanted to come to you before the reading happened.
I always have dreams of him, constantly.
He keeps playing with you, though. It's almost like you guys are like playing checkers or chess, because like it's like more intellectual than it is like anything else. So I don't know if you guys actually would have like pretty like deep conversations, but there's just kind of this really like intelligence about him. I think your son would be a little bit older than me now. I think he might actually be in his 30s, maybe around like 34 to 36. I'm seeing around that age gap or age period.
Yep.
One of the things that I do feel like I need to say is with for you, Scott, it's strange because I know that your workload is on the lighter side, but I don't really see you like taking the light jobs. It's almost as though that you do have young men underneath you, and it's odd. Like I don't know if you see them as your son in a way, or like you just kind of feel that kind of paternal kind of energy about them. But I look at you, Scott, and I don't see you as being that one of those selfish guys. Who's like the big cannabis person, or who smokes a lot of weed?
I do.
That's why I looked right at you, Jesse, because even sitting here, I was like, who smokes weed? But because I was sitting here and all of a sudden I just saw Cheech and Chong, like, and your son's laughing about it. I don't know if one of the Cheech and Chongs I think they're both still living, but I don't know why he put his arm around Cheech. I think Chong, I don't know who they are really. I just know from that 70s show. But your son kind of wraps his arm. But do you do this for business? Like, do you actually grow it?
No, I have a shop, and I rent it out to somebody who grows it. But I only smoke it every night. I just take one drag to help me sleep. So
Same here.
But that's every day.
But that's because I have had spine surgery. But one of the things that I feel with I want to see if I can get to mom as well, because mom's pretty bossy as well. Now, Scott, was she in hospice right before her passing?
She was.
Because she just made me feel. She goes, now, I'm going to ask something, and you can be honest. Was mom a slight bit racist?
Sure.
I think she was.
Yeah.
I don't know if who took care of her or who the hospice provider was. I don't know if she said some things that, like, towards the end that we're like, oh, mom, don't say those kind of things. But she kind of reminds me of my grandmother. Like, my family is like, if you put Jerry Springer and cops together, that was basically my family. And that's who your mom reminds me of, is just that she'll say whatever's on her mind and, like, doesn't give two flying. I keep hearing the name Heifer, like, you heifer. But I'm pretty sure it was the F word, you fucker. Like, that's.
Did she say that very much? I can't remember.
Towards the end, she did.
Yeah.
Yes.
You fucker. Like, she just seems like that. Just like, mom, calm down. And I wonder if there's like, is somebody's name like, no, I don't, like, it's, because I'm seeing, I don't know, I keep seeing, no, I don't know, I can't get the name. That's fine. I'm thinking that you actually have a painting of mom's as well, or like a mural of hers that she had in her place. It's not very big, but it's not a painting. What the hell is it? I think it's a picture of her mom and dad. And I feel like there's very few things of mom's that like she kept onto. It's also weird because I can see this glass cabinet maybe right when you walk into the living room out of the kitchen of her old place. I don't know if there was like a glass thing here, but I'm seeing maybe like tons of like tchotchkes in it as well. Like, it's one of those things that like it's supposed to be lit up, but it never really was. But I'm seeing this like glass kind of case, and she's making me feel like we kept this stuff. Would you understand?
Well, she did have a thing coming out of the kitchen into the dining room that had crystal figurines and stuff in it. Yes. Yeah.
That's because I don't know why, but she goes, Yeah, because I kept seeing. This is why. Here, let me. I can't show you. So you saw me staring this way, and the reason why I didn't understand. Hold on. Why she was had me staring at this, but she kept saying, "See these like crystals."
Yep.
That I kept feeling like there's some type of connection because that's what I was like. Oh, it's a painting, and then she goes, "No, it's not a painting," and then she showed me exactly what it was. I just felt like I don't know if you actually kept these tchotchkes, these little things, but or maybe just one of them. But
I
she
I have a couple of hers. Remember those things asked you if you wanted them back. You told me to keep them here.
Yeah.
But there's like 3 of them, I think.
Perfect. So for whatever, because I wanted Mom to come in to make herself known, and she was like, "Oh, we'll talk about my crystal," like you know. So she loved this thing. So for whatever reason, she was just very. There's also some yappy ass dogs with her on the other side as well.
Probably yours.
Like they're yappy. They're not like woof, woof. They're like that kind of one. Those kind of dogs.
Did you guys have dogs?
Like you know the Shih Tzus, like the. That's what I'm seeing with her. And she goes, "Well, tell him I have the Shih Tzus or the." I don't really think that they're her dogs because she kind of puts her arms up like this, but she just says, "Oh, tell him I have these dogs." So I just felt like for whatever reason, like there was nothing else. I feel like one of them was really old. Is actually what I feel like. Maybe 13 or 14 is what I'm seeing. But I kind of say like this like salt and pepper kind of color as well. And then I see like this blonde one, like almost like had the floppy ears and like blonde, like hairs coming off the ears. Like that's, yeah. So I feel like there might be 2.
One sounds like Bess and Nate's dog, and the other one sounds like the little dog they got us for Christmas.
Did you have to shoot your own dog, or did you have to put your dog out of its misery?
No.
Like through a vet, like put it down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I had to have one of my dogs put to sleep.
Is that would that apply to what you asked?
No, I felt like somebody took it into their own hands, like because like dad referenced like an actual golden retriever that we had to like I don't know whether he put out of its own misery, but like I felt like somebody took it upon themselves to carry it out. But one of the things that I see for you, Scott, is now your house. I don't know if you're wanting. So, do you own the house that you live in at the moment?
No.
Okay. That's weird. Why? Because I feel as though that you should have. Did you get pushed out of the neighborhood that you lived in for like 15 years? Like, did you actually have to like move like a couple miles away?
Not that long ago. I mean, I was renting a house that got sold out from underneath, but.
Okay. Because I heard that you got pushed out. So I just felt as though like there's something that like you're supposed to be there, but then you got pushed out of wherever you were living. I will say that you should have a place of your own. I don't know if that's what you're working for, is like literally just to have a place to be yours. But I feel like I don't know why, but I feel like you're going to come to an opportunity where you're able to buy a house or like have it in your name. But the thing is, like, I feel like it's going to be one of those ones that you want to do remodels to. Yeah, it's kind of strange. But do you both live on the coast then?
Yes.
Okay, so that I still feel like there's like, it's one of those ones where I feel like there's 2, like goes garage, house, and then somebody else is connected here as well, house, garage, but it's just like one building. But I feel as though that there's a house maybe even a little bit like behind those properties, and that's where I see you getting one. I'll just say, like, just in the next year, just kind of keep that in mind. But I want, because I know we have only a couple minutes, what big questions do you guys have?
I was hoping my mom would show up. She just died in September.
I'm sorry. Let's see if we can do a quickie. I know that today was what happens. Like I said, I don't control it. I just let them go. And Scott, probably because you've never had a reading, your son had a ton to say, which I always think is pretty freaking cool. Jackie, now was your mom pretty resilient? Like just somebody who pretty much takes care of herself. Like even when she was older, like even a couple months before her passing, I see her just kind of wanting to take care of herself. Like we went and just checked up on her, but there wasn't a whole lot of need to take care of her.
Right, until probably her last year.
The last year?
Could be 2 years.
So, yeah, because I felt like, but she just made me feel like she didn't need your dad, like no offense, but she did just fine by herself. She was able to take care of herself. I feel as though, I don't want to say somebody swindled her or somebody took money from her, and like then we had to have somebody be like her appointee for her finances, but she kind of laughs about it and she goes, well, I couldn't take it with me. It's funny, your mom, Scott, and your mom, Jackie, are kind of like laughing together on the other side. It's almost like that they would have played like bunco together or like would have played like cards together. Because I'm seeing them like sitting around like a barbecue table, and like I can see like us having a celebration and then just kind of playing with one another. So I know that they were equal, like in like they. Jackie, your mom, she keeps wiping her nose. She keeps going like this, like she like pulling tissue. Like I don't know why I was touching my nose so much, and she just kept going like this, like.
Yep, she
like
had allergies.
But she goes, I don't have to do that anymore. Like there was more this kind of like funny, like she kind of she I don't know why she's showing me Carol Burnett, but she's showing me like the Andy Griffith Show, Carol Burnett, those like comedic kind of shows. That's what she's like putting on a loop is what I saw, and then I saw this kind of like pinup. Like almost like a Marilyn Monroe kind of picture. And I'm wondering if this is a photo of her grandmother's or why I'm seeing one of these photos that was like part of our family is what she says.
I have no idea about that, but she definitely had allergies and was always rubbing her nose. And my sister and her have a connection with Carol Burnett show, how they used to watch it together, and every time they'd come on, they'd call each other.
Sweet. I actually have a couple of DVDs of them. But I think that this is her way of just saying that she's safe and at peace. Now, do you also have a brother as well?
Yeah, my brother lived with her.
I was going to say, why do I feel like there was something that didn't go well? Like,
maybe a month before she died, he wouldn't pay his part of the rent, so he had to move out, and he'd been living with her for the last, 5 years or something like that, 4 or 5 years.
I saw 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So my feeling is she says, I want him to know how much I love him, that there was nothing that I wouldn't have done for him. But even after she passed, he feels as though that she was mad at him. And I just feel as though that she goes, I would never be mad at my kids.
Yep.
Not for something stupid like that.
Sounds about right.
But she just goes, I know what you guys have done, even though it's only been a couple of months since her passing. She makes me feel like you have already planned, like, not memorials, but like ways of to celebrate. Where's the February connection? Or what, is there a birthday in February?
Nothing I know of. We were married in February. Other than that,
Y'all were? Okay. Mm-hmm. Was it the 13th?
14th.
14th. Okay, because I saw like 13th. But for whatever reason, she showed me February, and then she showed me the 13th, and I felt like it was a celebration. The other thing that she, the silly string, like
yeah.
I don't know if there's a memory of you just like busting through her house and just like you guys just like silly stringing the shit out of everything, but she kind of like pulls me to a memory where she just got pissed off because everybody was using silly string.
I don't remember it, but that very well could have happened. I have 6 brothers and sisters, so.
And do you have? She showed me a binder as well. I'm gonna get to the binder in a second. But there's also like I wonder if she had like a little like coin purse. You know the ones that you like the balls and you like push them together.
Yep.
I feel like you were going through her things and you found this like pouch, and for whatever reason, I don't know if you like opened it up and there's still coins in them. But she's talking about how like she saved all of her pennies. Like I think that she saved every coin that she found. She never let a coin go by. But there's also this feeling that you kept like her coin bag or her purses.
I did.
The one that has the.
Yep.
So just know that she was like, just tell her thank you for keeping that.
Awesome.
Okay.
Wow, very cool.
I know that this was your first time, Scott. I just want to say I'm so sorry for your both of your losses. You guys have lost quite a bit of people, and no parent should ever bury their child, ever. And I'm so sorry that you guys had to lose them in that way. I hope that something today just says, Todd, he just says, Dad, you can get that new truck if you wanted it. Like, that's what I heard.
He just bought one last
bought
week.
So just know that means that he was still with you even up till recently. So just knowing that he will be with you guys every step of the way. And I think there also is like a picture of your son going like this as well.
Probably this.
Oh, probably that. But I just saw him going like this. I saw the thumb.
He was big on the hang loose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It made me feel like he was going like this, like going like that.
There's a little thumb.
I just hope that today shows you guys that he's still with you guys, that your family is safe and at peace. And I want to thank you for trusting me to do this for you guys.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask you about it? Can I just throw a name at you?
Sure.
Does the name Mason mean anything?
Mason,
Yep.
did we lose connection with him?
No.
No. Okay. Can I ask how he passed?
He hasn't passed.
Oh,
He's connected to Jake.
Jake. Okay. Then I went down the wrong road.
I think we're about 10 minutes over.
Was there a memory or a name remembrance that Mason would have done in memory of your son?
I just wanted to know if the name came up or if it meant anything to what you.
All I saw, I don't know if Mason has kids now, but I actually saw kids around this guy. I actually saw that it says kids, good guy, but I saw like a name being passed down. So I'm wondering if Mason would have used Jake's name somehow.
Mason is Jake's son.
Oh, that's why. Can I ask how old he is now?
He'll be 15 in May.
Okay. It didn't come up, but it doesn't mean that so it didn't come up for me, but it doesn't mean that he didn't want to talk about him.
Okay.
Next time he probably will.
I hope so. I bet he will. But I think today was just establishing a sense of this is who I am. I am okay. I am watching over you guys. I don't know, Dad, if you also had like your heart checked out recently as well, but he's just showing me this area around you, just saying that you need to take better care of this. I don't know if you've quit smoking like completely, but he just made me feel as though that he goes, now we need to focus on this, is what he says. Because it's weird, like, I don't know if you actually, like, they were talking about putting a stint in, or like if you, like, there was a scare around this, but he goes, that was a wake-up call, is what I felt.
I had, like a year ago in January, I had like 4 little mini strokes one night, and I quit smoking. I haven't had a cigarette since then.
So just know that this scare that you had, your son was watching over you.
Awesome.
Okay. So I wish you guys the best, and please let me know if you have any other questions, okay? Enjoy today. Take some time to just talk about everything. Jackie, maybe you can send this to him so that he has the recording also.
Will do.
I wish you guys the best of luck.
Okay, so are you still taking appointments? Okay, I'll just,
Yeah. And then, so you can push the stop record button on your phone.
push the stop recording.
Yeah, that way it stops at that part, not everything else we're talking